Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
We've been exploring all sorts of dimensions to do with the culture war. A battle between the left and the right. The differences between those who are progressive and those who are conservative. Kameel, today let's talk about religion and conscience. What's the difference here between two sides?
I believe there's a massive difference between the two sides, although it may not seem so apparent at first glance. When it comes to the left-leaning progressives, they would say they believe in freedom of religion and conscience, but with caveats. They are very strong on the issue of anti-discrimination. And anti-discrimination, like tolerance, like equality, are of the highest virtues. Now, of course, on the surface, that sounds all wonderful until you get right down to the nitty-gritty. So I believe it was Barack Obama, a very classic progressive, who spoke not in terms of freedom of religion, but I believe he used the term freedom of worship. What's the difference? Basically, with freedom of worship, you are free to do as you like within your home or within the four walls of your place of worship. However, in the public square, you may have to button up.
And isn't it the case, Kameel, that when we talk about this public square or the public sphere, this is where the real battleground is in the culture war, because this is what's affecting the culture and shaping the culture?
Absolutely. Now, the conservative position, which I didn't mention yet, is that freedom of religion and conscience is of the highest priority. It means you are free to live and express your convictions privately and publicly. And the attitude is, and I have to agree with it, if we lose our ability to have freedom of religion and expression, then all our other freedoms and human rights will start going down the drain too. It is foundational, it is fundamental, and even if you're the most apolitical person around, you should be fighting tooth and nails to preserve religious liberty.
So the freedom of religion and freedom of conscience affects all of the other freedoms that we have. Freedom to associate with one another, freedom to have political communication, freedom academically. These things are a part of a free society.
They are absolutely the case, Neil. And what I know is this. I have traveled all over the world. I've seen where there's societies that limit religious freedom. And of course, I've grown up in societies that uphold religious freedom. It's almost like the difference between heaven and hell. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's stark. You are so conscious of what you say, you do. You feel so restricted. Sometimes you feel downright imprisoned in those repressive societies that limit religious freedom. Whereas, on the other hand, when you have it, as in our Western societies, you are like an eagle soaring in the sky in comparison to the repressive societies. So this is something we shouldn't take for granted, Neil. As we are evolving as a society and religious freedom will be questioned and challenged, we better decide now that this is worth the fight.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. Find articles, videos and podcasts from Dr. Kameel, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future in the Vision app or at vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.